Hello everyone, this is Professor Manjunath B, working as Associate Professor and Head of the Department in the Department of MCA, MIT Mysore. Before starting today's lecture, I would like to give the vision and mission of the Institute. The vision of the Institute is to be recognized as a premier technical and management institute which promotes an extensive education, fostering research, innovation and entrepreneurial attitude to the students. To accomplish this vision, again, Institute also has got the mission. The mission which will empower the students with indispensable knowledge through dedicated teaching and collaborative learning. At the same time, the advanced extensive research in science, engineering, management disciplines is also the need of the hour. And to facilitate the entrepreneurial skills through effective institute-industry collaboration and interaction with the alumni. And it also upholds the ethics in every aspect of the education system. And to mold the holistic individual capabilities for students towards their contribution in the advancement of the society. Subsequently, we have the vision and mission for the Department of MCA also. The vision of the department goes like this: to be a premier source that provides a transformative education to create computer professionals and technocrats and to make them competitive entrepreneurs. For this vision, we have a mission where we will facilitate students to nurture their skills and to make them professional entrepreneurs to meet the ever challenging or changing needs of the society and the environment. And we also try to develop the potential in them as a better human resources with new ideas, research and to meet the requirements of the cutting edge technology. Now to start the subject, in this 5th semester you have machine learning as one of the core subject. Subject name is machine learning with subject code 18 MCA 53. Nowadays, machine learning is one of the most or important aspect of everyone's day-to-day life. Say for example, in the past decade itself, machine learning has given us something like self-driving cars or else speech recognition or face recognition, effective web searching, or else it has improved us to understand the human genome. And machine learning is also one of the probably most used program, or else what we can call it as a scientific tool. It will be an helpful one for the students to learn about the new techniques and gain knowledge and implement them and getting them to work. So students will learn more innovative and best practices of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And this course will also provide them a broad introduction of machine learning, data mining, then statistical pattern recognition. Whereas machine learning subject basically covers 3 major topics. 3 major topics means one is supervised learning, another one is unsupervised learning, next one is reinforcement learning. Where supervised learning means it covers parametric, non-parametric algorithms, support vector machines, or you call it as SVM, kernels, neural networks, etc. And unsupervised learning, which covers clustering, dimensional reduction, then deep learning. Whereas reinforcement learning means it covers the variance theory, innovation process and bias learning in machine learning. Next, the major objective of this machine learning course is to make you understand the basic theory which is underlying in machine learning, and to make you understand the range of machine learning algorithms and their strengths and weakness of those algorithms. And you should be able to formulate machine learning algorithms to solve different problems and for different applications. And you will also understand, or you will study the statistical analysis of machine learning techniques. Then what you will get out of this course, machine learning? So after going through the course, then you will come out with the basic fundamental concepts of learning, algorithms associated with procedures and other algorithms of machine learning. That you call it as the basic concepts of mathematics and machine learning to understand the supervised, unsupervised and reinforcement learning. And you will also analyze the neural networks, Bayes classifier and k nearest neighbor given problems, and also you will check the efficacy of those given problems. And students, or you will be students will be able to evaluate the statistics to infer the correctness of the written machine learning algorithm for any given application. Now for that, the prescribed textbook from VTU for the syllabus is by Tom M. Mitchell. Tom M. Mitchell of McGraw-Hill edition. That can be sent to you via the link. Next, machine learning will cover 5 different modules. The first module is the introduction module, second module is decision tree learning, third module is artificial neural networks, fourth module is Bayesian learning, fifth module is evaluating hypothesis. So each of the module will cover the machine learning subject in their own way. That means introduction is there with well posed learning problems, decision tree learning will be there for decision tree representation, and you will learn artificial neural networks, and Bayesian learning means Bayesian theorem you will be learning, and evaluating hypothesis means estimating the hypothesis. Now to introduce the subject, say ever since computers were invented, then we wonder that how computers can be made to learn, or else if we can make computers to understand how to program, and based on that learning how to improve that automatically by experiencing the impact of those learning, or else improving that learning. So imagine that computers will learn from medical records, and through which the treatments can be more effective for new type of diseases. That is one type of case study. Say another example we can take is, say if you make computers learn and improve on them, say for example houses learning from experience to optimize energy cost based on the particular usage patterns of their occupants. In the sense, in a house there will be 5 occupants, and 5 occupants in an house will be using fan, light, refrigerator, washing machine, television, etc. Now based on the usage, it will be learned such that at what time fans should be switched on and what time fans should be switched off, when televisions will be has to be switched on and when television has to be switched off, and so on. Next, one more example we can give for the machine learning usages with respect to personal software assistant, right? Personal software assistant will be learning the interest of the user, and it will highlight especially the relevant stories for that user. So for example, an user will be having an habit of reading the newspaper through mobile phone every day morning by 7 o'clock. So automatically by the time 7 o'clock, what that person's interest is, that will be displayed in that mobile phone by the learning of the system. That means the computer system will learn and understand like what that person is using every day. Okay. Now, it is as simple as that. An ordinary system will be there. Say an ordinary system will be there. Either it might be a computer or your mobile phone or tab or etc., whatever it might be. Then with the help of artificial intelligence, right, you will make it to, or you will bring it to machine learning. So you will bring it in the form of machine learning. Then machine learning, what it will do in turn, it will either do learning or it will either do prediction or either it will do improvisation or else improving. So that means an ordinary system will be asked to learn the things with the help of artificial intelligence, and that becomes the machine learning. It is like nowadays we might have seen or heard like robots, how robots will be doing the work of a human being. In major industries, human resource has been replaced with robots. So robots have been used for doing more number of human work by the method of machine learning, right? So how it has done the machine learning? Using artificial intelligence. By that it will do the learning or it will do the prediction or it has improved the learning methodology. Next, machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence and it provides the system an ability to automatically learn and improve the experience without being programmed. So without doing any program, machine learning with the help of artificial intelligence, it will improve the efficiency of that particular machine. That means machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can access data and use it for themselves, and it can use that data for its own. That means one of the biggest advantage of the machine learning is that it will be improving from time to time, or else the efficiency and accuracy of machine learning will be increasing in amounts, in bigger amounts of data that are being processed. Like machine learning is a category of an algorithm that allows a software application to become more accurate and to predict the outcome, whereas it has not been programmed separately for that. So basically we need to build a few machine learning algorithms where it will receive some input data and use statistical analysis to predict the output, whereas that output will be the new data for the next input. Now, why machine learning is so important? So machine learning is so important in the sense, for example, some tasks cannot be well defined. That means recognizing people. In a particular area, it might be a gate or else it might be an entrance, etc., or it might be a door. where people will be moving around with lower speed or with higher speed. Say you need to recognize the people. Again, relationships and correlations which are there in data mining and data base management system, okay, are to be found out. And one more area is where human will design the machines so that it will not work as desired from the human being in that particular environment, whichever they will be using in that particular area. Say the amount of knowledge will be available for certain tasks, and it will not be in the large amount where it can be explicitly encoded by the human being. Say for example, medical diagnostic. So in medical diagnostics there will be huge amount of data which will be available, but it cannot be encoded by human being. So it has to be learnt from the machine, and it has to be predicted from the machine. And another important area of machine learning is changeover environment. That means changeover in environment means it might be with respect to climate change. So weather will change from time to time. So when weather will change from sunny to rainy, rainy to again sunny, or cold or warm, etc., those things. Then machine learning will help human being or a user to get the new knowledge of any task which is consistently being discovered by himself. That means redesigning. Say earlier we had an ATM machine to dispense 100 rupees, 500 rupees and 1000 rupees currency notes. Now there was no chance like it was redesigned until demonetization occurred and new currency notes were released. So once that new currency notes were released of 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 500 rupees and 2000 rupees currency notes, then redesign of that system was done. Some of the applications we can talk about machine learning will be regarding some of the applications of machine learning we can talk about will be like traffic alert system, again usage of social media, transportation, product recommendation, and virtual personal assistants and virtual personal assistants. Like in the traffic alert system, you can collect the data and you can analyze the data and you can give the alerts in the traffic problem solution. You can give the solution for the traffic problems. In social media, say for example, information will be overloaded, like overcoming of the information. So a series of algorithms will be able to identify the patterns in the data and classify them into different clusters or groups. Like in social media, it will be mixed of text, sound, images, video, etc. So those things can be clustered. Next, in the field of transportation, yes, in machine learning is also helpful in the field of transportation for finding out the shortest route and supply chain management. Next, in the area of product recommendation, in the sense advertisement. So whatever the product we use, based on that machine learning, say for example, in online we do online shopping. Whenever we do online shopping in online, we take a particular type of items, say for example mobile phone or laptop, then pen drive or speakers, etc. You are buying electronic goods. So when you are buying those electronic goods, then similar type of product advertisements will come to your phone number, because your data is already there in that particular online shopping website. So based on that, they will give you, or they will send you the product recommendation advertisements. Then virtual personal assistant. So this is again most important, or one of the prime applications of machine learning is virtual personal assistant. You know about Siri and famous assistant in Apple phones, Google Assistant from Google, then Alexa from Amazon, Cortana is there from Microsoft, and so on. These are the assistants which will provide you assistance while using those gadgets. So you can speak, or you can give the instructions by speaking to that particular mobile phone, and it will assist you like an virtual personal assistant. Next, to continue with the applications, still you have few more applications like self-driving cars, dynamic pricing, Google Translate, and video streaming, which is online, and fraud detection, self-driving cars. You might have heard of now it is most popular with respect to different car industry are trying to build up the self-driving cars. Tesla, BMW, Volvo, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, etc. These are the companies which are doing this self-driving cars. Next, another application is dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing is you might have observed in airlines, in the industry of airlines. In the industry of airlines, what they will do is, based on the type of the seat and the number of seats remaining and the amount of time which is there before the departure of the flight, based on that dynamic pricing will be increased. That means, for example, 6,000 rupees was there as a ticket before the 1 hour before the departure of the flight with only 10 seats left, then it will be increased to say something like 8,000 or 9,000, etc. So that is something called as dynamic pricing. And Google Translate, you know that Google Translate, if you type in one language, it can be translated to another language. And in online video streaming, yes, it will use, it will be very useful that online video streaming will be with good resolution. And fraud detection. In fraud detection, you can consider a scenario like where a user will make the transaction, and for that particular transaction a decision tree can be built to predict the probability, like whether the fraud has been done based on the transaction made, like which place and time, right, at what time and at which place, how that fraud has been done or not, based on decision tree. Now these are some advantages and applications of machine learning, whereas still machine learning has got some of the drawbacks. The important drawbacks is data acquisition. Data acquisition, time, and resources, interpretation and results, and high error susceptibility. and high error susceptibility. So these are called as drawbacks of machine learning. How data acquisition is a drawback of machine learning? Because data acquisition is a huge task, so it becomes very difficult and it consumes more time, and you need to train those data set. After acquisition of the data, you need to train those data sets. So that becomes a huge task. Time and resource, yes, training time will be more. So you need to give more time for training, and you need resource means powerful computer system has to be given for training set. Right? It will take more time and it will take more resource for training set. Then interpretation and result. Say major challenge is to give the accurate interpretation and result by the algorithms. We must be careful to choose those algorithms for what purpose we are using that algorithms. Otherwise, it will be a biased result what we will get, and it might be a wrong interpretation based on that algorithm what we are using. And last drawback is high error susceptibility. High error susceptibility means suppose we are training an algorithm with the data sets which is not huge, and it is only a small amount of data set, which cannot be an inclusive one. That means training set or the data set should be in more number of training sets or data sets for the training. Then only it will or the performance can be improved. That means it will predict well. Otherwise, if your training set itself is very less, then the prediction will be like wrong prediction. It may be like a wrong prediction, or it might be irrelevant, and so on. So these are the 4 drawbacks of machine learning. Next, machine learning is classified into 3 types of algorithms. So we always talk about machine learning is nothing but the usage of algorithms, formulating the algorithms and implementing those algorithms for efficiency, better efficiency and accuracy. So there are 3 types of algorithms. I already told these 3 types of algorithms. One is supervised learning, another one is unsupervised learning, and third one is reinforcement learning. Now, what is supervised learning? Supervised learning is something like a system is presented with the data which is labeled, and which means that each data is tagged with correct label. I will repeat. Supervised learning means a system is present with the data which is labeled, and which means each data is tagged with the correct label. For example, you have a machine here, right? For that machine, you will send few emails. So for that machine, you will get a few emails. Now, machine has to learn and tell okay. Now you have few emails which you will be sending to a machine, that means a computer system. So when you send an email to a particular person, that means that person has to open that email in a computer system, or else in a laptop, or else in a mobile phone. So when a new emails are sent to a machine, so the machine has to learn what type of emails it is, right? So the number of emails will come to a particular machine means it has to be classified like what type of emails it is. There a labeling will be there, whether it is spam or not a spam. How do you receive this mail in the spam box then? In your inbox you will receive few mails, and in your spam box also you will receive few emails. How this is happening? Whenever you are getting a new email, how you will be able to see that it is there in the inbox or it is there in the spam box? So that is what is that machine will learn by labels. So the data tagged will be with the correct label, right? That means the input data X has to predict the output variable Y. So input X has to predict the output Y such that Y is spam or not a spam. So that is what is something called as supervised learning. Now there are two categories of supervised learning. One is classification, another one is regression. Classifying is you need to categorize the output variables, say red or blue, disease or no disease, that means spam or not a spam. That is classification or categorizing it, true or false. Whereas regression is a value. Regression is a value means either it might be temperature is a value, like now it is about 23 degrees centigrade or 28 degrees centigrade or something like that, or else weight 65 kgs or 73 kgs, 46 kgs, it is a value. So value is regression, and categorizing classification of category like true or false, like spam or not a spam, red or blue, disease or no disease, something like that. So that is called as classification. Now second one is unsupervised learning. This system is unlabeled and uncategorized. This system is unlabeled and uncategorized data system. So in this system the algorithm will act upon the data where without prior training will be present. That means in supervised learning a machine will learn whether the mail is spam mail or not a spam mail. Here in unsupervised learning, because that data was tagged with the correct label, here no labeling will be there and no categorizing will be there and no training will be there for that data. Now the output will be dependent upon the algorithm which has been coded for that particular program. Say subjecting to a system like you need to test the system in the form of grouping them in the form of a group. Say for example ducks or no ducks in in unsupervised learning. Say for example you know about Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry and ducks. Say in a cartoon of Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry and ducks are all in one frame, right? So in one video, but you don't know whether ducks are there or whether only Mickey Mouse is there or whether only Tom and Jerry is there and so on. Now you need to figure out how many ducks are there or whether ducks are there or no ducks are there, right? So then only ducks should come here and no ducks should come here. That means grouping of ducks should be in one part and no ducks should be in another part. That means all the ducks will be here in ducks group and Mickey Mouse and Tom and Jerry will go to no ducks group. So this is what is unsupervised learning. That means in the training data set, we will not provide any corresponding label like whether it is Mickey Mouse or Tom and Jerry and ducks. So the unsupervised model is able to separate both the characters by looking the type of the data, right, and the models underlying in this distribution, so that it will be grouping them into ducks and no ducks. Again, that grouping is nothing but called as clustering. Again, in unsupervised learning, there are two classifications. One is clustering, that means grouping, and another one is association. Association is like learning the problem and where you want to discover the large amount of data as a solution, right? So if you want to buy a product X and X will also tend to buy then Y. That means people who are willing to buy X product X will also be tend to willing to buy Y. As simple as that. You will go to a supermarket to buy a t-shirt, then when you see an offer that jeans pant is also having a discount, then you will also tend to buy a jeans pant along with a t-shirt. That is what is the association. Association of one data with another data. That means one duck is present, similar to that you will find out one more duck, then you will group them like these are the number, this many number of ducks are there in the ducks group. That means clustering of ducks. If no similar character is available, then you will move it to none or no ducks group. The third point is reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is gaining the points, or you call it as rewards. Whenever you gain some rewards, then you will be happy. That means reinforcement learning is something like you will be interacting with the environment, and whenever you perform well, you will get some rewards. Whenever you perform incorrectly, then you will get some penalty, right? As simple as that, like you are in you are taking an online test. If you mark the correct one, you will get a plus mark, and if you mark incorrect one, then you will go for negative mark. That means now reinforcement learning means, say in an environment, particular environment, say an agent will be present with, say a machine will be there, like, or else you call it as an agent. So what that agent will do is, agent will observe there are two different ways. If you go to one way, then you will be having a water. If you go to another way, then there will be something like fire, right? So what you will be doing when you are playing a game? So when an agent will be there while you are playing a game, like if you want to make a jump, then there might be a hurdle in between. So if you make an appropriate jump, then you will gain more scores. If you cannot cross that hurdle, then you will lose that score. Similar to that, you need to select between these two, like if you go to this way, then there is a water, and if you go to this way, then there is fire. Now selection between these two is left to that particular agent. Next, if you go to this fire way, then you will be losing the rewards. That means you need to give the penalty. Next, if you go with the way where water is there, or if you go to water way, then you will gain some rewards. That means it is an iterative optimal problem. It goes on like whether you need to go for the waterway or you need to go to the fairway, you need to iteratively think upon and make an action, so that either you will get some reward or you will go for penalty. That is something like reinforcement learning. Every time you need to reinforce and learn every time that after crossing one level, yes, next level you need to learn again whether you need to go this way or the other way. That means either you will get reward or penalty. Okay, now after going through this particular subject called as machine learning, I have briefed about 5 modules. Out of that, we have started with the introduction, and machine learning majorly is covered with the algorithms of supervised learning and unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. Under supervised learning, you have two categories, classification and regression, and unsupervised learning with respect to clustering and association and reinforcement learning. Right? Thank you.